Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Just a quick heads up that today's video is brought to us by My Ireland Box, which is a Irish subscription box company. But more on that later. Let's get into the project. All right, I am very excited about this project. I'm hoping it's going to be very simple. And I'm excited about this fabric because it's just 2 blankets from IKEA that were $7 each. The idea with this dress is to do kind of like an ancient Greek style drapey thing. I've been reading a lot of Lore Olympus lately, and I'm very inspired by Hades. What? Yeah, so we are gonna go ahead and get started. As always, I'm gonna be making it up as I go, so let's see what happens. Alright, so the first step with this is I need to cut this in half lengthwise. So, this way. Wait, never mind. No. That is not the first step. The first step is to cut it to length, and then I need to cut it in half lengthwise. Yeah. Since this fabric is pretty loosey-goosey, I want to try following the grain a little bit more when I cut it. So I'm gonna actually try to find the thread that goes across the grain and just pull that out. We'll see how that goes. Alright, it's super faint, but there is a line where I'm pulling out that thread. I am only about 5 inches in, so it's going to take me a bit, but this makes sure that I'm cutting a straight line, which is nice because I don't usually do that.
What is it truly to admire all?
Good morning. So yesterday I got quite a bit done. I had 2 blankets, and then what I did was I cut them to length, and then I cut them in half lengthwise. So now I have 2 separate pieces that, if you see the seam down the center, so I had them cut in half, and then I basically sewed it back together. But I did that because I wanted this V at the top. And the back and the front are going to be the exact same. However, I think for the back panel, what I'm going to do, so this is going to be the shoulder, basically, and I'm going to gather it so that it looks like that. But for the back, I don't want nearly as much fabric because I don't have something to cover in the back. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut a V here and then just take out that fabric. And so it'll look the same because it'll be gathered, it'll cover up that seam, but then I'm getting rid of extra fabric. I'm still contemplating it. It's early. I'm not going to make any decisions yet. But really from here, it's fairly simple. I just have to put the back and the front together and sleeves. It is so beautiful outside, and all I see is my allergies haunting me. Oh, look at all those pretty petals falling. All right, so I went ahead, oh, squirrel. Okay, I went ahead and did that idea on the back panel where I put in darts just to minimize the amount of fabric that is going to be gathered in the back because I just don't need as much fabric for the coverage, so I didn't want all the bulk that would, keeping the fabric would have. Wow, yeah. So I did that, and I did split it into 2 different darts on both sides because I felt like one large dart would kind of make it a little puffy down here in one spot, and I thought that wouldn't look good. So I spread it out, and now I just need to clean up all the extra threads. I did do French seams just to encase the fabric because this fabric will start to be fluffy. Then I need to work on actual gathering of the shoulder bits, and then I can put the front and the back together. Alright, so what I'm doing with the shoulder seams is I'm also doing a French seam because of the nature of this fabric, I worry that it would just fall apart, especially with this much fabric in one area. So I have sewn the first stitch, and now I have to flip it over to do the actual seam. But I'm really liking how it's looking. I like the gathered look. I think it looks great. So I will commence. Huzzah! Good morning. It is April 11th. It's only been a couple days since I last filmed, and guess what? It decided to snow. What the frick? Yeah, so that's miserable. So while we have this mini snowstorm, hopefully it goes away by the time I have to go to work, I'm gonna just work on pinning the sides of the garment so that I can sew the garment together. Yeah. I'm going to do French seams for the sides as well because I just think it's more secure and it's cleaner. And I will move on from there. All right, let's try to focus on this. All right, so here we have a bag, which I guess is kind of my thing. At this point, I haven't actually put in the French seams yet, so there's kind of like a weird seam here that isn't finished. You can see that. Not really, but okay, cool. Back up, maybe a little more light. Okay, so from here, I need to actually like work on continuing these all the way down so that they kind of concentrate in one place and bring it into my... Hello, and welcome back to the Tuscany show, where we just don't film for months. It is June. This dress should have been done like a day after I filmed the last segment, but I didn't want to do it that way. So here we are. So there have been a few things stopping me from finishing this video. One was that my SD cards were full and my computer was being a dick. And I just don't want to deal with it. The other thing was that I just didn't know how I wanted to finish the dress. Like, I had all these brilliant ideas on how I was going to cinch it at the waist. And honestly, I was making it so much more complicated than it needs to be. And I kept trying all these different things that I did film some of. But honestly, I can't film how my brain works. So like, it doesn't make any sense. So after all this trial and error of nonsense, I have finally realized that I just need to put elastic in there, which was my original plan. I just kind of started straying from the plan and making it more complicated than it ever should have been in the first place. So, we are now going to go back, and we're going to put some dang elastic in it. Alright, so the goal here is to basically measure the dress, find the waistline, mark it, and then put the elastic in. But I recently got this new dress. Ta-da! And I like this kind of scrunched elastic look. And I want to try doing something like that on this dress. And I was looking at this and I thought what it was like basically channels with elastic in the channels. But what it is it's actually sewn with elastic thread, which kind of blew my mind. So I am kind of thinking about doing that, especially because I found this elastic that's pretty thin, and the fabric that I'm working with is pretty loosey-goosey, so I might be able to actually sew with this, which will take longer in some ways because I have to hand sew it, but I actually prefer that because I hate sewing elastic on the sewing machine. So we have all of our lines in place, which is very, professionally done with a Sharpie. Yeah. And now I just have to cut the elastic to length and start sewing. All right, never mind the chaos going on with my hair right now. But I did one line of elastic, and when I got to the end, I realized that the lines that I had measured are slightly off. I don't know how that happened. My hair is falling out. I don't know how that happened. And honestly, I should have checked it beforehand, but I didn't. So now I get to pull the whole thing out and figure out where I went wrong and remeasure, or at least adjust some of the lines. So, woo! Yay!
So this side aligns. If I flip it over, the marks that I have here align with the marks here. But on the other side of the dress, if I flip it over, basically it's like this is the second to last line and this is the bottom line. So somehow on that side of the dress, they're just slightly askew so that they don't align here. Which means that like I have to adjust it just slightly, but enough that it's problematic.
All right, so as we've established, I make things way more complicated for myself than they really should be, and I should have finished this dress months ago. Honestly, like, it should have only taken me a week to make this dress, but here we are. I am basically at the end. I added 5 strips of elastic that I just sewed into the fabric itself. It was really simple, really fast. I did it in a day, and I really like how it turned out. It was easy. Yeah. So now it's just the final touch-ups. All I have to do is clean up the raw edges on the sleeves and then some extra thread. That's it. That's the dress. So I'm gonna just do that real quick. I also realized that I didn't add pockets, but for the sake of this video ending in a timely fashion, I'm not gonna worry about that right now. We might add them next year. How I didn't think about pockets is beyond me, but 2 days Tuscany Posy. It only took me 2 freaking days to complete this day. We interrupt this regularly scheduled meltdown to talk about our sponsor today. By sponsor, I mean someone that sent me some free stuff. Which honestly is very exciting because no company has sent me free stuff before, unless it was a scam. Our sponsor today is My Ireland Box, and this is an Irish subscription box. If you have been following my channel for a bit, then you know that 1, I love Ireland, and 2, I really love these kinds of boxes. Usually because they're full of things like food, soap, candles, recipes, things that I find useful and aren't going to clutter the house, because honestly clutter kind of gives me anxiety unless it's clutter of like fabric or books. I'm really happy that My Ireland Box decided to send me a box. Honestly, I'm very grateful and flattered, and I'm so happy to be able to support them. They sent me their April box, and I'm very late in making this video, as we have discussed many times. This box came with some snacks, a little like flower holder. It's a little wooden flower holder. I need to go find a flower to put in it. A book about Irish folktales and fairy tales, an adorable little painting of a bunny, and a recipe for hot cross buns from County Kerry. And every subscription box comes with a little pamphlet telling you about the box and the individual items, where they came from, and their creators. If you're interested in receiving your own subscription box, visit them at myirelandbox.com. And if you sign up for the 3-month package, then you get your own free necklace, which is a pendant sterling silver necklace, which is worth over $70. It's handmade in Dublin and hallmarked in the Dublin Castle, which honestly, I just want something hallmarked in the Dublin Castle. Once again, that is myirelandbox.com, and you can see all the details in the description box below. Now we can get back to whatever it is I was doing previously. Okay, all right. I guess it's time to put this thing on. All right, we have reached the end of this video. It has been quite a journey. Honestly, the dress was very easy. If I didn't overthink things and I had like discipline and I didn't get distracted with everything else in my life, I would have finished this project in a week. But I did not do that, and here we are. So I'm very happy with the dress. I say this about all my projects. But I think that's a good thing, right? I am very happy with it. It's hot. It's like 90 degrees today. My feet are dirty. Yeah, it fits well. It's very comfortable. I do have to be careful with this, but I don't really plan on wearing this to work or anything. This is kind of just like a nice dress to wear out to dinner or to the beach, you know, whatever. I do have stuff all over my butt. You can see. Yeah, there we go. Because I sat on a rock that had some dry moss on it. So I get to wash it again. Yay! Yeah, as I stated, I need to add pockets, but that's not something that I'm going to do right now because that would extend this video another 6 months and we're not going to play that game. So, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed watching. Go ahead and leave a comment below, like this video, or even subscribe. Stay sane, stay safe, and stay healthy. I'm surprised I remember that. And goodbye. Yeah. I put on shimmery makeup for this, but I'm pretty sure it's like 5 years old. My eyes are starting to burn. Oh.